welcome to the Daily Quest show again.
I love how you're trying to speak with deep voice after the last episode. Welcome to the Daily Quest.
Yeah, that's my voice, Nancy. Niliokoka niliacha kuamka.
But yes, welcome to the Daily Quest. Thank you so much. We've received so much love and feedback from you guys and from the last episode.
Yes.
And thank you. Asanteni sana.
Yeah, and a lot has happened between that week.
A lot.
Uh-huh.
Has it happened to you?
Yes, a lot has been happening. And again, thank you for the love.
Yeah.
But today, I think it's because of what happened. Something just came and I said, hiya, we need to discuss about this, this particular topic.
Actually, today someone reached out and they were like, where is episode 3? I was like, where? Pressure has started. So, there is no way we can sleep. We have to keep on giving you different episodes, different content, different conversations.
Yeah, and different conversation, not the normal conversation.
Not the normal conversations.
People out there, you really want some juicy conversation. You want us to talk about some people know us, where we're good at, and so on and so forth. But the conversations here, I feel as those conversations that they're not normally talked quite often, but they are very, very important.
Very important.
Yeah, even as we select the topics and what to discuss during the show.
But I loved last episode's conversation about body shaming. So in fact, someone said that they identified with
the beautiful boy.
The beautiful boy. So they have been called.
Is real.
Imagine they have been called a beautiful boy all their life. So hugs. But we are getting out of it, isn't it?
Yeah. So it's more educative, educational. It's a lot of information. To some it might be obvious, but it's not obvious. So I can't wait for us to start or just to unveil the topic of
let's dive in. I mean, we are here. Amma, you wanted to talk more about the last episode?
No, not really. I have a joke and it's a construction joke. So wait for it. Do you want to hear it?
I know your jokes. That's okay. Go ahead. I want to hear it. Have I heard before? Have I heard it before?
I don't think so. It's a construction. It's a construction joke. So, but sorry, I'm still constructing it.
Wow, Ray, please stop. Aki, hizo jokes zako ziishi hapo sasa. So that's the joke actually.
Yes. See, I'm still constructing it. It's a construction joke.
Sawa.
Just one more
joke.
Alafu tutaenda.
Ikuwe serious. Ama joke is equal serious.
It's a serious joke.
Okay. Give me a serious joke. That was not serious,
Why did the bicycle fall down?
Why did the bicycle fall down?
Yeah.
Because it fell. It didn't have brakes?
No. It was too tired. It's too tired. Because tire mbili. Okay, now we can continue.
Even that is not a serious joke, by the way.
That's
it's not.
It's a very serious joke.
I'll be thinking of serious jokes.
Unless you want a dad joke.
No,
Do you want a dad joke?
I'm okay, Ray. I'm okay. Let's move on.
Okay.
Actually, because it was too tired. So 2 tires make 2 tired.
It was too tired.
That's how I live. That's what I live with every single day.
Maybe I can add one more.
No.
You're near next time.
Okay. Thank you. See, I've saved you guys. Nimewa save. Yeah, we can't let us take in, the jokes for thinking. So we are still thinking that you're still constructing a joke. Then you constructed one of too tired. Now we are too tired.
Or you're too tired
We
with
are
my
too
jokes.
tired with your joke. No, the next one.
Now
That's a joke also.
Let's dive in.
Let's dive in.
So we live in a very, very spiritual world.
When vile umeanza, we live in we live in another joke. Sorry.
No,
we live in a spiritual world.
Most people identify themselves with the physical being, because I can see you, I can touch you, I can talk to you, I can feel you, the five senses. But beyond the five senses that we have, we live in such a spiritual world. It's so
life
spiritual.
is spiritual.
Life is spiritual.
You keep on telling me life is spiritual. In fact, I think that's your favorite statement. when we are going through something, something happens, you keep on telling me, life is spiritual.
There's a lot of things that happen in the spiritual realm that we can't see with our naked eyes.
For sure.
But they're there. For example, if you're out there and you believe in God, have you ever seen God? But we believe in God through faith. So it's true. That spiritual. Even if you don't believe in God, if you believe there's
a supreme being.
There's a supreme being that you've never seen. So today, it's kinda spiritual. Not really spiritual, but it's a topic that touches. We're going to build it up.
It is spiritual.
It is spiritual. Everything is spiritual. We're going to build it up. So it's 2 in 1. So the first one is we're talking about the tongue. This thing here about the tongue.
Ulimi.
And the power of the tongue. So
I can't wait. I know it's a topic very. Are all topics dear to your heart? Because last time we said it's dear to your heart, but even this is dear to your heart.
Even if it's not dear, I live by
you
it.
Live by it.
I live by this particular topic that we're going to talk today. So the first section is the tongue, as we build up to the next thing, because they are all interconnected.
All right.
So let's talk about the tongue. What do you know about the tongue? And what do you believe about the tongue?
My gosh. I know, first of all, I fear the tongue. I know the tongue is very powerful. And what you declare with your mouth and your tongue comes to pass, actually. So if you declare negativity, it comes to pass. If you declare positivity, it comes to pass. So I fear the tongue. Given that I'm a sanguine, we explained what a sanguine is. Sometimes I'm afraid that my tongue may oversay things that are not even meant to say, because a tongue is a powerful thing.
And that's true. Actually, we get some reference of this particular topic from the Bible, and there's let's start with
Pastor Ray.
Let's start with Proverbs 18:21, which really illustrates that the tongue is one powerful. Actually, I can say the most powerful part of our bodies. It states that the tongue has the power of life and death, and those who love it will eat its fruit. Can you imagine the power of life and death
lies in our tongue? It's a very powerful thing, actually.
So sometimes you just go calling people names. You just maybe you're a parent, umezoea kuongelesha mtoto wako, but you just keep on calling them names. You good for nothing, and so on and so forth. Do you know whatever you proclaim? Actually, the Bible says you will reap the fruits of your tongue. So if you're planting good fruits, you're going to reap good fruits. If you're planting bad fruits, you're going to reap bad fruits. And it's not only parents, it's all over.
It's all over, yeah.
You'll find even spouses just calling each other names.
Yeah.
You'll find bosses calling their subordinates some crazy names. You'll find just even siblings calling each other names, or just talking ill. So actually the Bible says, do you know the power of life and death lies in the tongue?
Yeah, and sometimes, like we said in the last episode, it may come out as a joke. Probably it's not something serious, it's a joke. Like you see, like the way kids were bullying me nikiwa mdogo, it was not something serious, but there is power in whatever they were saying. There is power. Sometimes you may even call your child just a silly name that, probably you don't even mean it, but there is power in what you're saying. And slowly by slowly, you'll see that child start to act like you've called them for a while, and it will get to them. Like, I remember while growing up, I was very clumsy. I still am clumsy.
Very.
I am clumsy. Confession, I am clumsy.
Very.
So I remember my mom would say, should I say it in Meru?
Yeah, just...
Kenyoni getekori. A bird that is not well developed. Yeah. So it was a joke, honestly. She didn't mean it to hurt me or anything. It was a joke. Maybe I have poured something, or so she would warn me, like, carry that jiko carefully, kenyonigetekori. So till to date, I am constantly, I think I've told you, I'm constantly in fear that I may do something, especially when I'm carrying maybe jiko or, pressure cooker. I'm always constantly reminding myself that I am clumsy. Yeah.
So it doesn't stop there. The Bible has so many verses that talk about the tongue. And in James 3:5-6, it says, likewise, the tongue is a small part of the body, but it makes a great boast. Consider what a great forest is set on fire by a small spark. The tongue also is a fire, a world of evil amongst the part of the body.
Wow.
So basically, it's like, you've heard about wildfires.
Yeah.
And actually wildfires, they're crazy.
They actually started by a spark, a very little spark.
So that is what the Bible compares the tongue. Yeah. You can start, you can just utter just a small thing.
Yeah.
And then it just sparks everything.
Yeah. Wow.
And that is the power of the tongue. Just saying, it's a small part, a world of evil among the parts of the body. It's like a small part of the body, but it makes great boost.
It can create troubles.
It can create trouble. Yeah.
Trouble.
So I believe it can create good trouble, or it can create good or bad.
Yeah.
Depending with how it's like a tool.
Yeah.
Depending with how you use it.
Yeah. And I'm thinking, since now we've been given a warning, it's up to us also to choose now. Are you going to use this tool that you've been given for the good or for the bad?
Yeah.
Because you can create blessings for yourself or curses for yourself using the tongue.
Yeah.
You can create blessings for your children or curses for your children using your tongue.
Yeah.
Or you can just be silent and create nothing for your children, and yet you have the power to create blessing over your children.
Yeah.
And over yourself also. And over your spouse.
Yeah, true.
Yeah, wow.
That's very true.
Yeah.
And as I said, this is a build-up.
Yeah, it's a build-up. We are headed somewhere.
I'm
patient. We are patient, yeah.
So just keep it there.
Yeah.
So the other verse, I've said there are so many verses.
Yeah.
I just selected a few.
Yeah.
The other verse is Psalms 141:3.
Sorry, I hope we'll be putting the Bible verses, yeah?
Yes, we can do that. Okay. So Psalms 141:3 said, this is a prayer.
Yeah.
Actually, the psalmist, this is David. The psalmist was just praying, and he prayed to God and said, set a guard over my mouth, Lord. Keep watch over the door of my lips. And it was, I think David was a sanguine.
Was he a sanguine? I feel like that's a prayer I need to make.
Yeah. Just when you just get somewhere, you just tell God, hey, please God, just guard my mouth.
Yeah.
And Lord, keep watch over the doors of my lips. The doors of your lips, it's the tongue. He was referring to the tongue.
To the tongue.
Yeah.
Wow.
So the other one is do not let any unwholesome talk come out of your mouth, but only what is helpful for building others up according to their needs, that it may benefit those who listen. We live in a world right now where they're calling it the information age, where people just talk for the sake of talking, where people are just talking to chase. Is it called chasing the clouds?
Yeah, chasing the clouds. Yeah,
chasing the cloud chasing. Yeah, cloud chasing, where people are just talking so that they can get subscribers and followers.
Yeah,
we have people who
that's
are really,
cloud chasing.
Yeah, we have people who are just their content is just nasty content out there.
Yeah.
For the sake of that juicy story. But deep in them, they know this is very unethical. They know that this should not even go to the public. Or this should be, this is a conversation that should be kept within.
For their private consumption.
Yeah. Or in a private setting.
Setup,
But we live in that age where nobody cares what they are talking about, who will consume it or not. They're not even considering that this content will fall on other people's ears, maybe people who are not even of age. Maybe you're talking too much about sex and some just very... you're just exposing. Hakuna censoring. You're not censoring anything. Yeah.
Actually, I love that the Bible says you can pray like the way David did. You can pray. Sometimes there's that something that comes and it's itching your tongue and your mouth and you want to say it. But deep down in your heart, there's a second thought that is telling you that don't say this thing. And sometimes it's just something very simple, but it's like a small spark that will start fire. So I love that you can go and tell God, please, Lord, guard my mouth, and just give me self-control that I may not say these words. I love it, and I wish we can even use them. You see now, like let's say we are having a fight, and sometimes nasty words come. Nasty words just come, especially when you have pissed me off. So I'm here thinking, I wish someone can just pause and say, God, please help me not to say nasty words, especially now that I am mad at this person. And, you just remain silent. If you have nothing to say, then remain silent. Yeah. Even when now your kids maybe, the way they push you to the corner and sometimes you say bad words.
Let's go to the last verse so that we can...
We are still building. Okay.
We can move on. And it's still David. This is Proverbs 21:23. Related to his prayer. Now this is a proverb that he just wrote and said.
Proverbs is written by David? No.
Yeah. Proverbs 21:23. Those who guard their mouth and their tongues keep themselves from calamity.
Wow.
So those who guard their mouth and their tongues keep themselves from calamity.
Wow.
Just saying that you need to guard what you're talking. You need to guard your mouth.
To keep yourself from calamity.
And then just pray to God.
Me, I'm stuck at calamity. That's a big word.
So we've said both ends. If you use it correctly, then you're going to get good fruits.
True.
You're going to reap good fruits.
Yeah.
But if you use it the wrong way, you're going also to get bad fruits.
True. Wow.
So that is deep.
It's deep. It is deep. It makes me think a lot. I have had this conversation with some friends of mine, and there's a time we were just talking about the tongues. And honestly, for me, I was just telling them how for a sanguine, I feel like this speaks to us directly. For us, I think sanguine and also cholerics, because sometimes we speak not from, from deep in our hearts, even though the Bible says your mouth will say what is in your heart. We just speak for the sake of hurting others sometimes, especially when you're pissed. So to me, it speaks to me directly, honestly.
Awesome.
Zile unasomanga unasema God, see, if you want to talk to me direct.
And niongeleshe tu.
But then again, the Bible speaks to us directly.
I think you had asked about Proverbs. Proverbs iliandikwa na Solomon. King Solomon was one of the wisest people, but to some point sijui alikuwa ebanga egonga. Kama uja get your joke, please just go and research on Google about
Solomon manze alichoma at some point, alichoma aliban.
And that's where we are going.
To ebanga egonga.
I think history ebanga egonga.
Atana mtu wa watu, he has finished his race now. Has he though?
Icona relationship to where we are headed to.
Tell me.
I think they didn't research. Maybe to them, how could research? They were talking in tongues. Unajua he's from Guinea-Bissau.
Is it Guinea? I think so. Yeah.
Maybe hakujua ni Kiswahili kitu ni ya kugonga.
So you're trying to say his name's Ebang? Is it Ebanga or Ebang? Ebang Egonga.
Egonga.
So hizo majina zake pia zilichoma.
The power of the tongue.
Ebang bang Egonga gonga. Akachukulia literally.
No. It's not taking it literally. But we've said
life is spiritual. Life is spiritual.
And that's where we are headed. I've just said we are building up and tumefika.
But sasa huko they don't speak Swahili surely. Unaekelea Ebang Egonga.
Sina kwambia wange research. Yeah, gonga
inamaanisha in any other language. ChatGPT, is there what does a meaning in any other language of egonga? Manzi.
And
amegonga.
Amegonga. King Solomon pia ligonga. You can imagine 700 wives and 300 concubines. Hiyo ni thao. Tuseme hata kama unagonga kila siku, hiyo ni raundi ngapi mara moja? How many years?
Manze, yani how was he even managing? How?
Well, I think tutaenda huko Guinea-Bissau.
Huyo King Solomon alikuwa na special coffee. Alikuwa na kahawa mahali. Hawezi bangegonga hivyo.
Okay. Moving on. Too much about
from bangegonga. Are those his actual names ama umetengeneza?
I believe hizo ndio jina zake. Ebu to research. Maybe niko hapa hivi.
So like it's literally Ebang Egonga.
Ebang Egonga, literally.
Sawa. Just leave it. Tuendelee.
It's Ebang Egonga.
Bottom line is that he's a Kigongi.
A very big Kigongi. So I think we were building up the whole thing, the tongue and the power that we've been given by God, or the tongue. It's like a tool. It's like a tool. Umeambiwa this particular tool.
Use it well, and it has the power to either build you or break you. So how do you use the tongue to build you? How do you use
the tongue to build you?
Wow.
I think you can go.
I think in even our daily activities, we can use our tongues.
Definitely.
Every morning, I think when you wake up, it depends what do you declare over your life, over your children, over your spouse? What do you declare? How do you use your tongue every morning when you wake up? Ama ukiamka ni kulalamika tu, unasema it's another day, it's Monday, it's sort of we've complained about Monday mpaka it naturally has become a bad day sort of, or a boring day. Yeah.
So I think one of the powers that God has given us is the power to name things.
I love it.
Yeah. And this is where we're going.
Yeah.
From the word go, when he created Adam and Eve, do you know God did not name anything? He let Adam and Eve name all
everything.
All the animals, all the plants.
He actually gave them power to name.
Yeah. So imagine we have the power to name everything.
Including ourselves.
Including ourselves, definitely.
Yeah. So if you're called a bang a gonga, you can name yourself afresh.
Yes, definitely. True, that is true, and we are going there.
Yeah.
It sounds like a joke, like you need to
end up.
Yeah. So the whole thing, where we are heading is naming. God gave us the power to name.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, to name every animal, to name our kids, to name ourselves, and in relation to the power of the tongue, it's the tongue that calls out your name every day. When someone mentions your name, it's the tongue, and we're told that the tongue has the power of life and death.
Yeah.
So if every day someone is calling you a specific name, then if that name has a meaning, that means they're proclaiming something or they're identifying you with that meaning on a daily basis.
I love it. Okay.
Yeah. So if you have a name that builds you, then every day people...
You're being built. Like if you're called blessings, every day someone calls you blessings inakufuata.
Exactly.
Wow, I love it.
Exactly, because of the power of the tongue.
So from today, call me blessings.
And you have the power also to change your name. And I find this interesting because again, from the beginning, every time I say beginning, ni Genesis, the book of Genesis. Every time God wanted to accomplish something through someone, the first thing alikuwa anafanya ni kuchange your name.
True.
Yeah.
It's actually
because
true.
A name is your identity. It's what identifies you. And then it's what gives you purpose. So vile limit na Abraham, or Abraham, depending with the school that you went.
It's Abraham.
Primary tunasemanga Abraham.
It's Abraham. Yeah. Ask our son atakambia it's Abraham, not Abraham.
Yeah. When he met him, the first thing he did, he changed his name.
Wow.
From Abram to Abraham.
Yeah?
It was Abram to Abraham.
Okay.
Yeah. Shida matamchi.
Tamchi. Okay.
Yeah. So what I get here is God wanted him to be identified with a specific,
as a father of nations.
Yeah. So when he changed him, the most recent meaning, Abraham, is the father of many nations.
And imagine when God was changing his name, he didn't even have a son.
Yeah.
He didn't have a child. So the Lord was calling him Abraham as a prophetic name. I can call it a prophetic name, as a declaration over his life that is going to be a father of nations. Yeah, I love it.
So, and you can imagine every time someone called him Abraham, whatever it is, every time someone called him Abraham, he was calling him father of many nations, father of many nations, father of... So if you have 1 million people calling you father of many nations,
you will become a father of many nations.
And you've heard about the tongue, the power of the tongue.
Yeah.
So every time God wanted to accomplish something
in someone's
life, I think the first thing was change his name.
Yeah.
Vile alipatana na Jacob or Jacob, depending with
it's also Jacob.
Yeah, when he met with Jacob and they wrestled and everything and all that, he changed his name to Israel.
Yeah. Wow.
And we have so many of those instances where
And from him, Israelites were born.
And so many instances where God just gets somewhere and he changes someone's name.
Even Paul.
Paul on his way to Damascus, aliambiwa hautakuwa. And again, something else, every time he was changing his name, alikuwa analeta a name with a meaning. Not just a name.
Not just a name. But I will call you a gonga, and it doesn't. Sorry for using a gonga again. Sorry. I will call you. Just let me use that again. It has to have a name, and alafu he was explaining, and that name. What is fascinating me is you may not look like it right now. That name that you're being called, like when now it was called Peter, right?
And it was changed. It was Simon.
It was
Simon was changed to Peter, meaning the rock.
Meaning the rock. At that point, you're like, I'm not even what rock? Why are you even calling me a rock? And by the time you're telling me, on you I will build my church, you're like, me, a mere person, so you don't even have to look like it when God is pronouncing that name. When he's calling you blessed, you may not look like a blessing right now. When he's calling you a father of nation, you may not look like it. That's what I'm trying to say.
True. So we have so many other instances. Do you know even Joshua was called Hoshea, but Moses changed his name, meaning salvation. It was changed by Moses to Joshua, meaning the Lord is salvation. And so many instances.
I didn't know that actually.
Also Sarah was changed to Sarai, Simon Peter, Saul, and so many instances.
Saul was now
Saul was Paul. Changed to Paul.
Wow.
And actually, I can see Paul meant humble. And he got
really?
Humble.
Imagine,
how Saul was
from
Kichwangumu
from killing people from.
So actually, God changed him to Paul, which meant wenda kuhumble. Nimekuhumble. So that's the power of names. The power of the tongue and the power of names. So where are we going with this? One way of using the tongue is we have been given the power to name. So si kuamka tu asubuhi una name tu mtoto wako jina yote just because it's trending.
I'm stuck at Egonga. No, I'm stuck.
It's like amekufurahisha.
No, it's the current example that we have.
You don't just wake up because a name is trending. Hapo sasa ndio unasema huyu mtoto nitamuita hii. Without a meaning, hata ujui meaning yake, you just woken up. So God has given us the power to name and to rename. Umeona, all this time God is changing people's names. He's actually rebranding them. He's renaming them. I love
it. Rebrand.
Even in business, even we will get to business. I know so many people talk about richly rich.
We shall get there. We shall get there.
We shall get there. And it's the same thing. So when you're naming your kids, it's very good to give them an identity. An identity with a meaning. You're not just waking up in the morning and just because in a trend. Najua there's a tribe in Kenya that gives their name, their children name depending with what is trending. Like saizi naona kuna wengi wataitwa Trump 2024. There are those who are called Obama.
Kamala.
Kuna wale wanaitwa Kamala. Yani you just wake up because a name is trending.
It's trending. Akimsita watoto bange gonga. It's trending but tuachane naye.
There's that tribe, very well-known tribe.
Then also there, even tribal names, there are those that don't mean well. There are those that mean that you're a drunkard. There are those that mean that you're an elephant. I don't know now the consequences of being called an elephant, but there are names that we know very well, the tribal names, even Swahili names that don't mean very well, actually. And just because it's tradition or someone was called like that in your family, then you name your child.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that being a tradition, actually for us we don't
I think we'll
follow,
give our story. Yeah, we'll give.
that is crap. We can just give it right now because that is crap. You know, when you're in a traditional setup, you're an African, and as I was telling you, I found out that it's also biblical. We will read that verse shortly.
Yeah.
You need to kuzaa. You need to
you name after
your mother, then your dad.
Yes. So it starts with your, like now in our tradition, it starts with the husband. Now you name your firstborn with now your husband's dad. Let's say if it's a boy, if it's a girl, you name after now your husband's mother, your mother-in-law.
Yeah.
Then vice versa. Now when you get the other children, now after you've named your parents, we come to my side of the family. Yeah.
Now you can imagine you're not giving them their unique identity. You're giving them
identity with someone.
Yeah. Because of someone else. Yeah.
Wow.
And I think our story, when we started getting children, I think you had that tradition.
Yes, I was traditional. We had the conversation. I was traditional because I was like, I lost my dad, and I was like, see, it's important for us to name them so that at least wakuwe na mtu they are named after, to carry on the legacy. But I think the hardest bit was now convincing my mom that we were not going to name our children after them. It was very difficult. It was very hard because, of course, my siblings before me, they have done the same. I mean, it's a norm. We do that in our family. It's traditional. So it was very difficult to break that tradition and to let them know that we were not going to name our children after anyone, actually. We are giving them a new identity. They carry the family name, the Muema.
Yeah, which is a surname.
But now their names, they're just unique names. Like for Jason, we've called him Jason. Jason meaning God is a healer. Yeah. Because in that season, God healed me and healed Jason of something that we had trusted him. So I have called him Jason because I believe God completely healed him from what I was trusting him for. And it's a prophecy. So it's a continuous thing. So God will heal him. And for sure, God has healed him.
Yeah. And his first name is Ray, which he took from me.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it had to be official somewhere.
Yeah.
And Ray just means a ray of light.
Yeah.
Yeah. You remember my stage name, Q-Ray, quality ray.
Yeah.
So it was a quality ray of life from the way you live, whatever you utter. So that's the ray of light.
A
ray of light.
Yeah. Then Janelle means God is gracious. And for sure, God was gracious to me. And my prayer is that God will be gracious to her. Because it was a very difficult pregnancy, you remember? Even she was born a preterm. It was just difficult. And God was gracious in that season. So that's why I named her Janelle. Then the other name is Pendo. Yeah.
Which means
love. It's just, she's just lovable. Then
now you can imagine each and every day when people are calling her, they're calling her God is gracious.
God is gracious. They're just declaring that the Lord is gracious, that you're loved, and it's just beautiful knowing that that's what people declare. I love it. So when people say Jason, they mean the God, Lord your healer. God is our healer. Jehovah Jireh, basically. Jasmine is a beautiful flower. Jasmine is a rainbow baby, honestly. She came in after we had lost a pregnancy. Just between Janelle and Jasmine, we had lost a pregnancy. So for me, we called her Jasmine Zawadi. She was a real Zawadi to us. She was a gift after we had lost another one. And Jasmine, a beautiful flower. Yeah. So I could not think
Zawadi.
of Jasmine Zawadi
means
gift. I could not think of anything than, honestly, a beautiful rainbow, a beautiful flower that just came to heal our hearts and souls after the loss of a pregnancy.
She was literally a gift.
She was a gift. She is a gift.
She is a gift.
She's a perfect gift for us.
Yeah. So that is...
And we had prayed for her for a long time. I think it was the most long we have ever waited for a pregnancy to come. So when it came, it was a gift.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Awesome. And apart from you find that there are people who they have been born and wanapata, this is what my parents gave me. Maybe they walifuata tradition ama something happened. Like for example, I'm called Muema.
And I feel like that affects you a lot. We need to change your name.
I'm no longer, most people don't call me Muema. And Muema in Kamba means refusing. Because I had refused.
Do you know how many times you refuse things in this life? People who know Muema.
But just let me finish the story. Just because I had refused to come out of the tummy, I prolonged my stay in my mom's womb. So they were like, huyo amekataa, let's call him Muema. Yeah. So which means...
But I'm saying, all I'm saying, Ray, I know you don't want to hear, but do you know how many times you refuse things?
Yeah, I refuse because of poverty. I refuse.
Even now, you've refused me to finish that.
I refuse negativity.
Story.
I refuse you to finish that story.
Imagine. Now I'll pray for you.
But now you see, for example, in my case, I managed to change my name to Ray. Majority of people now call me Ray. It's very rare you'll find people calling me Muema unless ni childhood friends.
Yeah.
The same thing I was telling you about even Mike Sonko. Mike Sonko, he made the name Sonko official.
Yeah.
You know, every time you're calling this guy Sonko,
you're declaring that he's rich.
You're declaring he's rich.
And we have a Mike here, and I've been calling him Mike Sonko. I don't know if he Mike from today ujue nikikuita Sonko. That's what I mean.
Jamaa anaendelea tu kuongeza tu mali na mali. You're proclaiming every day.
Yeah, true.
Sonko. Niaje Sonko, you are rich. You are rich.
I
you
love
are rich.
It. Yeah.
And actually, I believe actually Sonko ameenda to an extent of even having an affidavit and changing his name, his official name to Sonko.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So that does not mean when you're given a name, it's cast on stone.
You can change it. And I love now your other name, Jonathan, a true friend. Yeah, because the Jonathan we know in the Bible was a true friend to David.
Yeah.
And I remember there's a time you got a word from God, a prophecy, a prophetic word that you're going to meet a friend and you will be a Jonathan to that friend. And I think it's me. Honestly, you've been a real Jonathan since when we met. Yani, I love it. You're a true friend. And even the friends, your friends, they know that you're a reliable friend, a true friend. Yeah. You don't have many, but the ones that you know yourselves, you know that Jonathan or Ray is a true friend.
Yeah, so I think this is the time for you to change your name. What does Agnes mean? And Karimi?
Agnes is a saint. It's true.
Yeah.
It's a saint. You know, Agnes comes from the word Agnes. It's an Italian. Yeah, it's a Catholic name. So there was a saint. I am named now after a saint that did good things.
Oh, and you're truly a saint.
Stop it. I am a saint.
Yeah, so sometimes I call you Mother Teresa. And you live beyond you. You live for others.
Yeah. So I want to find that story for Agnes, but yeah.
So that's it. So we're just encouraging people out there. If you have a name, it's not cast on stone.
Yeah,
you can actually change your name.
You can
rebrand yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can start calling yourself blessed. You can start calling yourself just beautiful names and declaring. It's not just calling, but just declaring.
And telling people, this is my name.
This is my name.
And imagine 1 million people calling you that name over and over.
Yeah. So even when I pray for our children, or we pray for our children, I declare them actually. I declare that, like I say, God, I declare that in Jason's life, you're a healer, you're his healer. And I have seen God do that for him.
The power of the tongue.
Power of the tongue. I can count the number of times Jason has been to the hospital. And truly, God has been a healer to him.
Yeah. Moving on, it's not only names. You know, a name, personal names. But I had promised them I'll read for them that thing, tradition. In the Bible, there's this story. I think it's in the New Testament. John the Baptist. Let me try and get that story. In the New Testament, it's Luke 1:59-63. On the 8th day, they came to circumcise the child, which was John the Baptist. And they were going to name him. Those days, they were naming them during circumcision. And ilikuwa young, 8 days.
Ouch.
And you remember the father, Zachariah, was blind at that time. Zachariah. Let's stick to. And they were going to name him after his father, Zechariah.
Sema tu Zakaria. Zakaria, it's okay. We understand Zakaria. Zakaria is okay.
Watching outside, it's Zechariah, but here we call it Zechariah. Actually he was blind. The story was
Zachariah was blind.
Alikuwa blind until John the Baptist was born. So they were going to name him after his father. This is the same tradition that we have here. That you have to name him after your father or
your grandpa.
After your people, basically. The lineage
after
of your people.
Family.
But his mother, Elizabeth, spoke up and said, no. He is to be called John. Alafu sasa,
because there was a prophecy about him.
Now remember now, hapa hivi ni
aunties na uncles, the villagers, all of them.
You can picture the villagers. Na kuna ule anakuanga mjuaji kuliko wengine wote.
Hata wetu there are those who asked me why I didn't name them.
So they said to her, there is no one amongst our relatives and your relatives who has that name. So
it started a long time ago. Wow.
You can't lazima
name after either your dad or someone in this family.
Then they made a sign to his father to find out what he would like to name the child. He asked for a writing tablet. So akaitisha tablet na sizi tablet za siku hizi hizo zilikuwa.
Why couldn't he talk though?
He was blind and dumb.
And dumb.
Okay. So alitisha was he blind or he was?
He was not blind actually. Blind, he couldn't speak.
Yes.
Because I'm wondering then walimuuliza aje hivi
alikuwa bubu. Tunafaa kurudi kwa class na tusome more Bible.
It's not blind, it's dumb.
It's dumb. So he asked for a writing tablet and to everyone's surprise or astonishment, he wrote his name is John.
I love the way he was aligned to his wife's decision and to God's word. Because he had a choice of saying, no, I agree with my people. Let's name this child with a family's name or my name.
True.
I love it.
So it's also in the Bible.
In the Bible.
Unajua tunaweza anza kurushiwa mawe turushiwe, but this thing is in the Bible.
It's in the Bible. So it just speaks to me that, I mean, if you're naming your children also, you have to be aligned. Because if maybe the husband is saying like, you were the one who was against the naming of the children na family, but I also aligned with, we agreed. Otherwise, one person will name them after their dad, even though it's not on papers, and you will name them after whatever you want to name them. And the mom will constantly call them because it doesn't have to be on papers. You can constantly call them after your grandpa, because that's what you've chosen to believe. That she has refused, I'll still call them this name.
True.
Wow.
So it's not only about personal names. Hapo ndio nilikuwa naenda.
You have arrived.
Yeah, nimefika.
You've constructed, you remember that joke, you've constructed it, now you're there, you're roofing.
Yeah. So let's talk about even naming other things. For example, business. I'm so passionate about business.
I know.
And what you find, most of the people, they just take random name the first of your name, Nayangu.
Initials.
Initials.
It happens.
Jonathan, you are Agnes. We call it
Jonag.
Joag.
There is something about Joag. There is
Joag Limited and so on and so forth.
We have an email address with Joag.
Joag. You find someone. We have so many, even of our clients, who have just taken names and combined.
People just take names.
Yeah. In line with what we have talked about, the power of the tongue and the power of naming, you really need even to choose a name that has a meaning in your business, not just any other name. Because people will be proclaiming, or they will be mentioning this name on a daily basis.
Over and over again.
And they will be proclaiming whatever the meaning of that name is. So even when people come to me for consultation and all that, the first thing I tell them, choose the name of your business very carefully.
And I know you've helped many people choose their business names, actually.
It has to have a meaning.
So
basically, even when we were coming up with the name of our company, this is something that I get asked 1,000,001 times.
Why richly rich? A tongue twister. Richly rich.
Watu wa
Mulima wanasemanga richly rich.
Richly rich.
Wow.
Whatever.
Ni struggle.
And most people come and ask, why richly rich? They're like, and it's an identity. As long as we are here, we will be rich, and we will enrich even our clients. Because we are a marketing firm.
We will be rich and we'll make you rich. So that's what richly rich means. Actually, that's where, if you've been asking, that's where it came from.
The first, unajua ukienda kuregister kampuni kuko na 3 options. You give 3 names.
What were the other names?
Actually, the first name was Rich Limited.
Rich Limited,
which was already taken by when you go to rich.com, you'll see that guy who was
I barely remember.
The second name was Richly Limited, which was also already taken. The third one, yani tuliforce. Lazima
rich ingekuwa mahali.
So the third option ilikuwa hizo mbili.
Richly
Rich Limited. And it was available, and that's how we learned. So every time you're out there, we just come and say, Ray Jonathan is my name, I'm the founder director, Richly Rich Limited.
You're proclaiming.
You're talking about richly rich. Your tongue twister. You're just proclaiming, we are rich, and also our clients will be rich. That's the bottom line. That's the meaning of richly rich.
I love it.
And that's why if you come to us, definitely you will be rich.
Please call us richly rich. Call us rich. Call us blessed. Call us. I mean, all the rich names. Call us, and it doesn't have to be spiritual. It doesn't. It's just a beautiful name, because I know you've helped people come up with names, and then they have not been at the crazy names, spiritual names. It's like let's say you're selling this microphone, then you can also tie it to that name of this microphone, but then it means something to you and to your company.
True.
That also, even the people that are trying to identify, they can identify you easily with that name.
True. So you can imagine 1 million people calling us every day richly rich.
I love it.
They're proclaiming it,
that we are rich.
Definitely.
I love it.
And we will make them rich.
Actually, when many people come here, they ask, so are you guys rich? We tell them, so will you make me rich? Now we tell them yes. I love it.
So that is what I wanted to share. So that's the topic we wanted to share.
So it's not too late for people. You can still you can still proclaim over your businesses, over your children, over your spouses, instead of pronouncing bad words or bad statements, why not build them with the words? Because we've been given power. The Lord says he has given us power, and the tongue is it's in our body, and you can control it honestly. And if you cannot control it, you can also ask for self-control. You can ask God to give you self-control over your tongue. This is a constant prayer that I pray, that I have prayed. I used to be very nasty, by the way. Very, very nasty. Maybe this guy knows it better than I do. But I prayed over myself. I laid hands on my head. I laid hands on my mouth, and I prayed over myself. And I can tell you for a fact, the Lord answers prayers. I have seen change. Have you seen change?
Definitely.
I have seen change. I have experienced the change. And now I am able to bite my tongue, to bite my mouth. Ata kama I am not there, I am somewhere. And the Lord is still helping me. So it's not too late.
Yeah, not too late.
And I love how we bless our children also. You want to talk about that?
Every day after prayers, when they're going to bed, there verses that we use to bless them. They repeat after us. Their blessings we proclaim to them on a daily basis. And we have seen even results. We've seen
results.
Yeah.
And when we go to school, like today we were in school, when you're told something negative about your child, so we take it up now that to start proclaiming over them differently from what we've had. Yeah. Like today, there's something that we've had, and we need to start proclaiming that. I know someone has had an attitude, and the whole day today you've been telling them, I want to see a smile on your face. I want to see a smile on your face. Because now that is speaking, yes, you have an attitude, but I'm speaking a smile to you. I want to see you smiling, and that will help them.
Yeah.
Notice how I have not said hi or him.
Awesome.
Yeah. But that was a good conversation, Ray.
I
love it so much.
True, and I believe we have helped someone.
We've helped someone. Yeah. So please give us feedback. Tell us if you've enjoyed. Give us comments. Thank you so much. By the way, people are commenting. Tell us how you've loved today's episode. What else would you love us talk about? We'll be happy to talk about that. Like we said, we love having conversations.
Yeah, definitely.
You look tired.
Yeah. Let's
be done with it. Yeah. Thank you, guys. See you on episode
4. This was episode 3.
See you on episode 4. Bye.
Salutes.